Hey, what's up guys? It's Jack. Welcome back. And in this video, I wanted to basically discuss why I love Batman so much and why he's my favorite superhero. And it's quite easy. The reason why I love Batman so much, and I think this is more or less along the lines of why other people like Batman as well, despite the fact that he's become more and more popular now, even than when he was back in the day. Back in the day, he was popular, but it just seems now he's even more and more popular. Uh, the reason why I love Batman so much is simply because of the fact that he represents. He's a great example, a prime example of what a human being could be in terms of morality and the amount of success that they can achieve, and how basically their wits, their body, and their will allow them to go, like how far it will take them and what they can do. Now, I understand that Batman is very fictional, and I understand that there are a lot, even though Batman is based off of realism, and even though he's kind of, he doesn't have any superpowers or anything like that, there are a lot of fantasy elements that are done, but quite frankly, from the things that I have seen in terms of watching Justice League movies, watching the old movies, the newer movies, the comics, the stuff I read on the internet about the comics and the graphic novels, doing a whole bunch of research on the internet and stuff like that. Because in one of my older videos, I've mentioned that I never really had access to comics. I guess it was because I just didn't, as much as I liked comics and I would love, and there was a part of me that did want to read them. I guess I just rather would have watched something back in the day. So I guess I didn't have enough patience for it when I was growing up. But um, the thing is though that luckily years later, thanks to the internet, I was able to go into much deeper research about the character because I always loved the character. But the thing is, through everything that I've seen and through everything that I've read about the character, he is basically a tongue twister there. He is basically a representation of a human being that literally gives it their all. Um, it doesn't matter to him whether you have superpowers or not. It's always about mind over matter to him. I mean, he has proven time and time again that really using your brain is always something that is extraordinary, as opposed to using your muscle. And and the fact that he has trained so many years in the martial arts is something that I've always looked at too. And the fact that basically one tragedy that happened to him at a very young age was able to turn his life around for the better. I mean, granted, I'm sure it was very psychologically traumatizing for him to see his parents murdered right in front of him. But to have that such an impact, to impact the rest of your life, to basically dedicating yourself to making yourself the best that you can possibly be, to help make the world a better place, and to do everything in your power to make sure that no kid or not even another human being goes through what you went through, that is something that is incredibly powerful. And other than his other than the money that he has through his parents, of course, everything else that he's obtained, he has worked his ass off. I mean, yes, he is a genius level intellect of an IQ of 160, but with that said, he still had to work. He educated himself through plenty of books and traveling the world in the martial arts and all these other things that he's learned. Trained under some of the biggest escape artists to be able to do the things that he does, and basically disappeared off the face of the earth for quite a long time in order to achieve these things, and then some. And the thing is, even though he is the world's greatest detective, he still is constantly learning. He's still and he's able to get the best out of other superheroes. He's able to beat them with just using his mind and his training that he's done. And the thing is, when something impacts you like that, to the point to where you basically dedicate yourself 1,000% like that, it really does make the biggest difference. I mean, in a similar story with me in the martial arts, I mean, I had such a passion for it that I never missed a class. I took 2 classes a day for 4 days a week because that's what they were offering. I could have taken one on the weekends too, but my schedule just didn't allow for it. But but as far as that, I was taking like 8 classes a week. I would kill myself at work doing what I was doing at work, and then after that, I go take classes. And this was before I became a full-on instructor, because I started taking it when I was 8, and then I continued after a few years. I continued it in my later teens through my late 20s. But the thing is, when you have when you dedicate yourself that much, it really does have that much of an impact. And I became a great student because of it. And to see, and it makes total sense how this guy was just so, in a sense, motivated and impacted by what happened to him. I don't even want to say motivated because that doesn't sound right, but in a sense, it did motivate him. That one tragedy like that can just make him be this person that he is. Like, no, I'm not going to let this happen to anybody else. I will do this. I will make all the ultimate sacrifices. I will train myself, my mind, my body, my spirit, everything. And I will do everything in my power to make sure that I make this world a better place. I will rid as much crime as I will for as long as I live. I will, even if and the thing is, he is also beyond the law. Although he works with the law, he is at times beyond the law. He takes the law into his own hands at times, I guess. But he does not kill, though, and that is something that I also admire about the character. But the thing is, ultimately, when it comes down to it, he is the representation of what we can be at our best, and that is pretty much the reason why I love Batman, and then he will always be my favorite superhero. I hope you guys enjoyed this little commentary. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. See ya.